American bison evolved from Ice Age ancestors like Bison antiquus. And a Bison antiquus, I didn't get a picture of it, but it's a huge bison. Giant skull, great big horns. These ones, smaller now, but structurally, still the same. They have the hump, the massive head, and the herd movement. So modern bison in the Pleistocene would not look out of place at all. And the crazy thing is too, that skull, that huge skull, and that big hump of fat on the back, I think it's fat, or I guess it could be a fat storage. It worked. And that's why they're still here today. Next is moose. This is a North American moose. If you look up pictures of North American moose versus European moose, you don't find a lot, unfortunately. So this is kind of this is just a North American moose. It looks like I thought this was hilarious. It looks like he's singing. So moose appeared in the fossil record about 150,000 years ago, and they were already cold adapted browsers. So they had long legs, solitary lifestyles, and massive size. So they're huge. Like if you think of a moose, like they are gigantic. Like I wish I could get a picture of like a moose like next to a car, but they're just so big, and it worked because the stuff they were trying to survive from was also so big. So a full-grown bull moose weighs about 1,500 pounds, and like maybe a pack of wolves can take down like a sickly one. Maybe something like maybe like 2 cougars. I don't even think I would do it. Like maybe a full-grown grizzly, maybe. But that's like such a huge animal, and like it still gets preyed on today by moose, or not by moose, by wolves. Moose get preyed on by wolves, but it's still crazy to think that like there were maybe tigers that would just, a pack of them would just ruin. I guess a pride would just ruin a moose, and it had to get big to survive that, and now they're all gone. So. The last one of this is Muskox, and I have 2 images for this one, because the first image I really liked, but they're in the background. You're kind of like, what's that furry thing? And it's kind of hard to see. So then we have another image of the Muskox, which I love Muskox. They're really cool. They are more related to goats than cattle. They're like kind of like a sub part of Bovidae. They're like related to tacans and mountain goats. Tacans are pretty cool. Look them up. So Muskox, Ice Age tank. You have thick coat. They make the defensive circle, kind of like how Triceratops, we used to think they'd do it. They do a defensive circle. They also have a crazy tolerance for cold. Like they are cold weather survivors. They've changed so little that watching them today feels like you're peeking through a window into the Pleistocene. And the Pleistocene was like, to think about like massive herds of muskox. Like not, you think of them on like Discovery Channel now and there's maybe like, I don't know, 10, 11 of them. Picture like a herd of like 20 or 30. That's a huge number of animals. And you have Smilodons preying on them and following them, and this pack is like chasing them down, and this pack is made for killing these things, and now they're gone. So you have wolves preying on young muskox, but nothing really preys on big muskox.